And on St. Patrick's Day, this whole street is closed down and it's filled with people in a celebratory mood. And every now and then we have opportunities for fun. Every now and then. But we are trying to change that. And we are so excited to be here with our don't let the looks fool you. This guy likes to have a good time. State Senator Scott Wiener has been a really huge champion of nightlife and entertainment in San Francisco, and we appreciate his work and his advocacy on the state level to help us bring the fun back to San Francisco. So last night, Senator Wiener and I were just down the street on 2nd, and there were a couple of blocks of our first Thursday event, the first time ever. And let me tell you, there was entertainment. There was a larger-than-life disco ball on a crane. There was a cute little Alice in Wonderland Instagrammable moment. And all of the food trucks and restaurants were packed. They didn't have enough employees to handle the volume of people. Every restaurant you looked in was packed. Every food truck had a line. All of the different vendors were selling their merchandise. And more importantly, there was entertainment and people were happy. They were smiling and it was packed. And I ran into folks and they said, oh, I said, how did you find out about this? Well, I live right down the street. Oh, how did you find out about this? I work in this building. I said, do you come 5 days a week? And he said, well, we come 4. I said, okay, good enough. But the excitement of First Thursdays and creating downtown vibrancy and opportunities is why what we are doing today is so significant. Downtown, we have a lot of work that we have done around rezoning and changes, and my 30 by 30 plan to bring 30,000 students and residents to downtown by 2030, and some excitement of residents, businesses, restaurants, but fun has to be a part of the mix. And what is more fun than creating an entertainment zone that isn't just during St. Patrick's Day, but the opportunity to do more fun in the streets of San Francisco by allowing a certain area and businesses within those areas and restaurants and bars and others to provide alcohol that you can basically sit out on the corner right in front of the restaurant and hang out with your friends and have a beer and listen to music without going through some lengthy city process of a sound permit drama stuff. I am trying to get rid of the bureaucracy, which takes away the fun in what so many of our small businesses are trying to create to continue to ensure that the vibrancy and the excitement of why people love San Francisco remains, and it remains in full effect. The night markets, the events and activities, the music, the fun, the dancing in the streets, the having a good time, that is the vibrancy we need to bring back. And just to put it in perspective, there was a pandemic 100 years ago. And I remember reading about this pandemic because, we were in the midst of one ourselves and needed to get some knowledge about what was happening. And after the pandemic, after a few years or so, people were more celebratory. It was like a new era of excitement and fun and entertainment. That is where we are now in San Francisco. And this entertainment zone will provide an opportunity to make it easier to get to yes, to make it easier for us to create those opportunities. And so I want to thank everyone who's joining us here, from SF Travel to the Golden Gate Restaurant Association to New Deal, and all the people that we work with here as partners in order to produce amazing events for each and every one of you. And the last thing I'm going to say, to all of those folks who are only coming into the office 2, maybe 3 days a week, FOMO. The fear of missing out. Right. Just so you know, there might be something going on that you might miss, something exciting because you decided to not come to the office. So who knows what might happen on any given day when we establish entertainment zones and a way to bring the fun and the excitement back to San Francisco in our downtown neighborhood. And with that, I want to welcome State Senator Scott Wiener, who created the legislation to make it possible.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And gay guys do know how to have fun, so we'll be okay. It's always so rewarding when legislation that you work on, and this is now like a 3-year process on this one, like manifests in real life. And I am so excited that the city is taking this step and that the mayor will be introducing legislation to create the first entertainment zone in San Francisco under legislation that I authored last year, Senate Bill 76. So thank you, Madam Mayor, for once again leading on entertainment, but also on the turning around of downtown. And San Francisco's gotten beaten up a lot the last few years, and downtown certainly has its very real struggles, and we need to reimagine downtown San Francisco. And we're not the first downtown that's had to be reimagined. Lower Manhattan went through this process. A lot of cities have had to, have an open mind about what the future holds. And I'm very optimistic that downtown will be reimagined, will be reborn, and that it will be absolutely amazing in the future. And that means not just making downtown about office, it needs to be about housing, it needs to be about educational institutions, and it needs to be about entertainment. And what last night showed us, First Thursdays, it was absolutely amazing for everyone who was there. There were thousands and thousands of people there from all over who were just enjoying themselves. And so I know that this entertainment zone is going to be equally as successful, and I'm very, very excited about it. And in terms of what this does, it really, this would be impossible had we not changed the law. Because under California law, until SB 76 went into effect a few months ago, the law was in California that you can have a street festival, you can have a street closure, you can do all of that, but the local bars and restaurants can't sell into it. You can bring an outside vendor in to sell beer with a special permit, but the mom and pops, the bars and restaurants, locally owned, on the street, can't participate. And if you think about it, it's outrageous. It makes no sense. It undermines the vibrancy in terms of having that interaction between people going inside and coming outside and everything being integrated. And it is just really flipping the bird at our small businesses in a lot of ways, saying you have to be here and just watch as everyone else enjoys and benefits. You can't do it yourself. And I can't tell you how many times, for example, when I was supervisor and we had the Castro Street Fair, and all of those bars on Castro Street and on 18th Street, unless they violated the law, were not allowed to sell into the Castro Street Fair. That has to change, and that's what we did with Senate Bill 76. And I know that I saw a headline this morning about Bourbon Street, and yes, New Orleans is a lot of fun, Nashville is a lot of fun, but there are a bunch of states that have done this. Michigan, Ohio, I believe New Jersey. This is something that states have done in recent years to empower cities to have the most activated public spaces possible, to empower cities to have this kind of amazing interaction where people can just go out, enjoy themselves, have a beer, and just have a great time. And so I'm very excited about it. I also just want to say that we want to make SB 76 even better. The bill right now allows sort of one-off special events, which is great. We love special events. It was limited only to San Francisco. I'm authoring right now Senate Bill 969, which will expand it to the entire state, because if San Francisco should be able to do it, the other 500 cities in California should have that same choice. And also to make sure that these zones can be made more long-term and even permanent, because once you can make something permanent, you can actually make physical changes to make it a truly amazing public space for the long term.